Yo, big up. Sorry it took me a couple minutes. Big up to you. Big up to C Media. Big up to all of you. My making community. Sorry it took me a couple minutes. Big up to you. Big up. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to do that. Go. Sorry if I'm a bit late, guys. I still need to use the restroom. We're live. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I gotta charge another phone. God damn it. So yeah, join the stream, guys. Join the stream, guys. Big up to all of you. I'm live. I'm live for like the first time in like a few days. I couldn't go live on Friday or Saturday. I was about to go live this morning, so yeah. All right. So before I talk about PSG, smash up the likes, subscribe. You know the drill. We're only going to be here for an hour because I gotta leave at 1:00. So yeah, let me try to send people the link. I'm live. Yeah, Twitter's everything is going slow, bro. Sorry about me being in a mess, bro. Yeah, my room is a mess. At least everything is a mess, bro. So I put the link in so Zibin could join. Nah, maybe later. Alright, like up those tweets, guys. So yeah, big up, smash up the like, subscribe. I will go back down to my living room, but it's just like complicated, bro. Smash up the likes, guys. Like, what are we doing? Why do we only have 2 likes? We should be smashing those likes. There's no excuse, bro. So yeah, get in, smash up the likes. Let's get some people in. And you're welcome to join. You're welcome to join me. So we're going to talk about PSG. These guys are in the mud, so but of course before we do, let me use the restroom real quick again. And then drink some juice. So yeah. So first let me use the restroom before I get this
¿Eh? ¿Ya la gorda se va a bañar?
My bad, guys. Sorry about that. So, yeah, let's talk about PSG. We might have a special guest. His name is Lo Zerbin. I may not pronounce his name right. Big up to him. He is on Twitter. Send him the link. He said he wants to come on. Let's see if he comes on. We need everyone to join in because I swear YouTube is. Today we're not going to talk about Tom. We already explained that on Thursday. We're so see. All right, I could go down there because my mom will now leave. So yeah, PSG, bro. These guys, they're not playing well, in my opinion. They are not playing well. They are not playing well. It's not even here in the first place. Yeah, PSG, they play Chelsea next, and they just lost to Monaco. What is going on with you guys, bro? You guys are awful, bro. You guys are not serious, bro. These guys are not serious, bro. Ain't they? Let me put up the link. So yeah, I'm just trying to send people the link that I'm live, and then we'll talk about it. So yeah, we need people to join the chat. We're talking about PSG. We're talking about PSG. Why is PSG not playing well? What is wrong with PSG? What is wrong? You guys are not playing well. So you know what? By the way, first of all, oh shit. So first of all, I got some disappointing. Okay, maybe you guys will find this disappointing. First of all, before we talk about PSG, I will not do a live. I will not do a Fla-Flu stream final, just to let you know. The reason why I'm not doing Flamengo versus Fluminense tonight, today, I'm actually going to go out to San Jose. I'm going to that Brazilian restaurant, and I might try vlogging. But the good news is, someone else is going to do it, so I'll send you the link. I will try being your stream tomorrow for sure. So I was just trying to put some people's links. So yeah, I'm just trying to post on Instagram, Twitter, letting people know that I'm live just because I'm live. People should join the stream. Like, come on, don't move fraudulent, guys. So yeah, join in the chat. We're gonna be talking about PSG. They are in the mud. So yeah. So yeah, we need a lot of people. But yeah, so join in. All right, so we should get our. That's big up to Mel. Salute to you. We're talking about PSG, so share this stream. It will help out. So smash up the likes and all that. I will try to turn on my camera in a bit. It's just everything is a mess, bro. We need people to join the stream. I might have to move some things again. But yeah, I'm letting everyone know that I'm live. But yeah, smash up the likes. Do not do a drill. But yeah. So yeah, big up Mel. Big up to you as always. Salute you. The hate list, Argentina, Atletico, Palmeiras. Oh, I see. Very similar to. So yeah, how was my birthday? It was last week. Yeah, I did. Even though I didn't do much, But I promise you, the 21st birthday we'll just do much bigger stuff. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful I could do more things today. By the way, I also want to say, okay, nice, thanks, because that will help out, bro. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about PSG's downfall. So yeah, PSG, man, we're gonna be talking about them. But another thing I gotta say, Happy Women's International Day to all fellow women, mom, and all that. Yep, today's the day, March 8th. Funny enough, it'll be on the same day as March the 8th of March the 8th as the final. So Vasco fourth. So yeah, Vasco's in fourth. So yeah, all right. Well, all right. Thank you, Mel, and you can tag me as well or mention me. Yeah, that'll work, bro. So yeah, so I'm hopeful he can join. I'll give him like an hour. I mean, I got 45 minutes. So yeah, let's talk about it. Are you guys ready? We need more people to join the stream. Arsenal linked to Kvaratskhelia. What? Really? What? Did Fabrizio drop news or what? Why is he being linked with PSG, with Arsenal? Or is it another person that might pronounce his name wrong? Is that true? Is that the Kvaratskhelia or is it that a different one? From where? Because, of course, absolute great player because we're going to talk about this. But yeah, hey man, PSG, what has happened to you guys, bro? But wait, are you talking about the Kvaratskhelia? Yes, the Kvaratskhelia. Oh, really? And it's full time because La Liga is not serious and we didn't have time to do a stream about it. Why? They're actually trying to get him to. No way. He just got to PSG. I thought he's enjoying life, but not. But not right now. But yeah, I'm trying to send people the link as on Discord as well, just so you know that I'm live. But yeah, no way. Who reported this? I'm surprised. Did I miss something for Fabrizio Morano? Because I kind of missed it, unfortunately, in these past few days. I thought that this is um I kind of had thoughts about what is going on with PSG. Ooh, and now he's having a like yeah. Let's talk about PSG. PSG, what has happened to you guys, bro? The European champions, the Intercontinental champions, are not playing well. Oh, good news. Tossin is here. I'm live. We're talking about PSG, Chelsea. We could also mention Man City as well. All right, let's see. Nice. You reached me at the right time, bro. So, yeah, we need people to join the stream. Like, don't move fraudulent, bro. But what has happened to PSG, bro? What has happened to you guys? PSG have to be washed up, bro. What has happened to you? They just lost to Monaco 3-1 on the split. They lose 3-1. And yet, look at this. What is going on, PSG? They just lost to Monaco and they just played them in the Champions League playoffs a couple weeks and 2 weeks ago. I mean, a week ago on the second leg. What is going on, PSG? You guys are an absolute joke, bro. And I know there's also the Milan derby. I also, by the way, before we talk about PSG, I could have done the Minado Derby, but since that's going to be in the same time, it's unlikely. It's unfortunate. I have to skip this final, even though I tried the best. But I will try to do a reaction to all of them. No worries. And we'll try to react to the lineups as well. Look, PSG had most of the possession, most of the shots, and their defense is a joke. Their attack is not good. What the hell is going on in PSG, bro? PSG are absolutely finished, bro. I know they rotated a bit. I get it. Dembele wasn't starting, just coming back from injury. Gonzalo Ramos was nowhere near. He ghosted, bro. What PSG are not playing well. It's safe to say these guys are not playing like the champions of Europe. This is not the PSG from last season, bro. And I don't know if I should, even though I'm not a PSG fan, shouldn't be feeling confident against Chelsea, in my opinion, because these guys, bro, Chelsea are inconsistent, but PSG, these guys are not great. What is going on to Luis Enrique? What is the problem? You all thought that you just won sextuple, one of the hardest things to do in football. You could have broke a record. Like, what is going on with PSG, bro? The current champions of Europe could go out. Chelsea could do the double, if not the triple, over them. They could do the treble over them. They could. And look at this. PSG are not playing that well, in my opinion. No, this was expected. A 3-0 win against Metz. They beat Monaco 3-2. They barely beat Monaco in the Champions League. And then now they got revenge in the league after playing Le Havre. They needed a red card in both games just to advance. That's disgusting. They even conceded with 10 men. PSG are washed up. They finished 11th in the Champions League. These guys were supposed to be finished top 8. What has happened to them? What has happened to PSG, bro? Ever since that Intercontinental Cup final. I'm not going to lie. PSG, there's a lot of problems, bro. You guys are not playing well. You guys are not playing well. I hate to say, but yeah, what is going on with PSG? You somehow got a convincing win against Marseille a couple weeks ago in the French Classico, but then you lose 3-1 away. I mean, you were expected to beat Metz, so Metz is in the bottom of the table, and Lens as well bottled them, and now they might also bottle Ligue 1. Like PSG, they're in the mud, honestly. What is going on with them? Like, are you guys not noticing? Why is PSG in crisis this season, bro? And that's going to maintain many factors. Come on, Google. Google's a joke. So, yeah, let me know when you're ready to join. I'll add you in soon. Okay, but yeah, why is PSG a joke? Why? The reigning European champions. And ever since that made you worse. And, like, what is going on with PSG? You've been. They just lost to Monaco, but they have not been playing well. What is going on with PSG, bro? Look, they lost to PSG. Look at this. Before I know the Milan Derby is about to kick off, even though this is not watch along. What is going on with PSG, basically? They have not been playing well. None of these games convince me. Barely get a 1-0 win against Le Havre. What is going on with PSG, bro? This is not the PSG from last season. Look at this. They are so awful. What is going on? And it's going to mean a lot of problems. And it's going to mean many factors, basically. Like, what is going on with PSG? Apparently there's a couple reasons. So apparently, the big reason why PSG are struggling is insane physical demands causing exhaustion. But yeah, what is going on? Yeah, I will be joining Valentine Football Corner, so I will redirect to him if I can. Oh shoot, I can't. I forgot I don't have one. But what is going on with YouTube? Yeah, I won't be. But yeah, what is going on, PSG? What is going on? You guys are so awful, bro. This is not the PSG of old. Of because now, and this means a couple reasons, of course. But like, it's just real bad. It's so bad that you can't really like what is going on with PSG. And then like yeah, you could say they're mostly exhausted from last season, bro. Because PSG, we all know they played like 70 plus games over a season, of course, from of course late August to mid July. So they played pretty much everyone, which we all know PSG had that phenomenal season, doing the treble, doing the sextuple, winning everything, winning the Champions League, of course, for the first time ever, the French Cup, the French League, everything. PSG was that organized, and then they were the best team in the world. But since this, but ever since Chelsea beat them the Club World Cup final, I hate to say it, but these guys might actually be washed. But yeah, ever since the Club World Cup, ever since this big game, which PSG, by the way, and well, of course, since last season, they've been playing like, of course, some great football under Luis Enrique, and like, yeah, even though key players like Vitinha, Wadrin, Zyman, Emery, big up to him, it's his birthday, have shown figures. But yeah, and like you see the high performance, and then like, of course, there's like so much problems. Like we all know that this is the drop off basically from PSG. They barely beat Spurs on the penalty shootout a month later after losing the Club World Cup final in New Jersey. And then they had to go to northern Italy at Udinese's ground, apparently. The same venue, yeah, Udinese's, home games are is at. But yeah, apparently there's been a shift under Luis Enrique. The team should this is a different style apparently, but that been put so which means like I think they're trying to get fluidity, which has led to a rhythm and game managing. That's probably one of the reasons. But mainly, if you're a PSG fan, should you cause for panic? It's getting real bad. What is going on? PSG, like, listen, they started off the season pretty good, I would say. Listen, like PSG, we all know they had that wonderful season, but it's just getting bad now. We all know what happened. PSG in the first half of 2020, no, not 2024. The first half of the season, they were mid. They were kind of mid, I would say. And then they kind of were dirt. They lost to Arsenal. They lost to big games. Lost to Atletico Madrid. They lost to Bayern. They drew PSV, if I'm correct. At home, and then they were pretty bad. October, November of last year. And then they barely advanced against Lens on the penalty shootout. And then they barely beat Monaco in the French Shootout or Super Cup. And then somehow something clicked for PSG. Something clicked for PSG, which went on a run. Yeah, of course they were expected to win their games in the Farmers League, the French League. They came back against Man City, but they did tie Rams, even though they didn't mind dropping points because they wouldn't. And then they battered Stuttgart, and then they played Brest in the league, and then they played them in the playoffs. And then PSG were taking it soon, and PSG went on a run to win every single game, bro. They went on a winning streak until they played Liverpool in the round of 16, which they lost, despite not even being the better team. Big up, Cooler. Big up, my guy. We're talking about PSG's. What is going on with PSG, bro? They're in the mud before Chelsea. That's what we're going to be talking about for the next 25, 30 minutes because I do got to go. But what are your thoughts on PSG's downfall, kind of? I'm doing good. And I know the Milan derby kicks off in a few minutes. So, yeah. But what is going on? But yeah. But yeah, I'm back, Cooler. What are your thoughts on PSG's downfall? Can you share the stream, by the way, Cooler, if you don't mind? You think PSG will still win against Chelsea? But you think the UCL final will be Bayern Munich, Barcelona, hopefully? That's true. And we're doing a preview. We're doing a whole UCL preview tomorrow, Cooler. And I'll let you have more of your thoughts as well. We will do another preview of the UCL. But honestly, PSG, this is not the same PSG that beat Inter Milan 5-0 last season. Then we all know PSG technically they won away at Anfield, won on penalties. Donnarumma was that key there. Everyone was there, bro. PSG won the French Classico. They came back, battered this team 6-1. And then PSG would do well in the UCL. They would do well. They get revenge on Arsenal. They did lose to Nice, but I think they already won Ligue 1 anyways. And then like PSG, they just took everything well. They didn't mind losing some games because the games won't matter. They beat Arsenal. They'll have one warm-up game or so. They lift that new French League trophy. They won the French Cup final. They dominated without Mbappe, winning 3-0 that first half. And in the following week, we all know they smashed Inter Milan 4-0 in the UCL, right? 5-0, of course, not 4-0, my bad. As the Milan derby, they're hosting, flags, banners, even though I couldn't do a watch along because I have to go through there, unfortunately. So, yeah. The Milan derby. But besides that, funny enough, as they're playing the Milan derby, let's not forget Inter got smashed up 5-0. But since then, Inter Milan, they tried to be better. Oh, thanks, Cooler. PSG have gotten worse since. Oh, yeah, I saw that new short. Let me see right now before I say any more. YouTube, bro. All right, let me see. I will comment, but let me see your video. Absolutely. Ooh, very true. Revenge is coming. Yeah, I'm just going to comment with eyes. Yeah, we are doing that preview tomorrow, Cooler. I cannot wait to have your thoughts. And listen, apparently Zaborio isn't going to turn up. If he doesn't turn up, then that's a bit disappointment. Yes, I did. But what are your thoughts on PSG not being the best team in the world anymore? They were just dominating games. And ever since after that Champions League semifinal for Arsenal, They won every single game convincingly. 5-0 against Inter Milan. Not even 2 weeks later, 15 days later, in LA, in Los Angeles, California, from Munich, Germany, they started the Club World Cup campaign with a battering against Atletico Madrid. 4-0 in LA, and PSG absolutely cooked in that game. They smashed Atletico Madrid, and then they got a fluke game against Botafogo, which we all thought was a fluke. And then we all know they were going to beat against Seattle. Rotated a bit, maybe. And then against Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, of course, they smashed them 4-0. And the Club World Cup round of 16, even though they could have scored more. But it was just so fluidity. And of course, against Bayern, they got pretty lucky, I would say, but they got the job done, keeping a clean sheet. And then the ass whooping against Real Madrid, 4-0. I mean, I know PSG were declared like the home team in several games, except for the game against Seattle and against Inter. Oh, Luis Enrique is starting all right. But yeah, and then we all know they got smashed up by Chelsea in an upset, bro. And ever since that game, I don't think they have recovered, in my opinion. I don't think. I think PSG will make the semis again. They can, and they probably should. I think just because, yeah, Bayern. Honestly, ever since that game, honestly, you could see Galatasaray. I wouldn't rule it out, honestly. So probably you're right. Even though I wouldn't mind seeing a PSG Liverpool rematch. But this was the game, bro. PSG lost 3-0. Of course, the Club World Cup final in New Jersey, New York. So we all know that PSG had the better chances. But Chelsea were just much more clinical, of course. And PSG, they played bad defensively. It was just horrible. And yeah, Chelsea, we all know they win the Club World Cup as their fans are still flexing. Everyone voted for PSG to win. They were the favorites. Whether you think about the Club World Cup or not. But yeah, what has happened to PSG? But ever since then, they have not looked convincing. I know they only had a month break. And then here's the thing, most of the players were never going to get a rest. Some of them had to play Nations League or World Cup qualifiers between the Club World Cup and Champions League, so I kind of get it. And then PSG, they barely scraped by against Spurs on penalties, bro. Honestly, on 3 straight penalties. Big up, welcome back. Salute to you. You're finally here. Finally, your first live. Big up to you. Good to see you, bro. Big up. What are your thoughts on PSG's downfall? Before they play Chelsea, they're not playing well. PSG, they barely scraped Spurs in the Super Cup. They needed the last 10 minutes to come back to draw, in which they should have lost. And the confidence just dropped off. We all know Nuno Mendes won them the penalty shootout, wins the Super Cup. But it was very close, bro. PSG were not playing that well. They were a lot more clinical, and they just didn't start playing well. And Spurs, they had the lead, and they capitulated. And PSG almost lost another trophy and barely scraped the UEFA Super Cup for the first time after losing the Club World Cup final. And I thought it might just, but yeah, they did need 2 goals to come back. And then against Nantes, they got 1-0 win. They barely scraped wins. And then against Toulouse, they battered them. They didn't play any Champions League games until Atlanta, which they battered them 4-0. And I thought PSG would slowly come back. And then there's that 1-0 loss to Marseille during the Ballon d'Or ceremony. They lose to Marseille. PSG, and then PSG played Axora, whatever that's called. And yeah, these guys, bro, were not good. What is going on, Paris Saint-Germain? And I know I only have like 15 minutes because I gotta go. Oh, big ups. Hold on. Milan had a shot, but yeah, big up to you, G8. It's been a while. And then Spurs themselves, they are shit right now. Like I said on Thursday, they are in the mud. Yeah, they are fighting relegations. I think it's gonna be a draw. Even though I will be focusing on Fla Flu, which we should have the lineups review. I should have done the stream a bit earlier, but then I had to go this and that. It's just annoying. Yeah, their downfall is. And yes, I'm a football channel. Yes, and ever since, but yeah, Spurs they are in the mud, and time with them, which we all thought Spurs were gonna go on the run, and we all after winning that Europa League, ever since then, they themselves would fall off too. They themselves would fall off too anyway. Spurs, PSG, and then like they got that big win against Barcelona despite not having the full A team, bro. Remember, they didn't have Kvaratskhelia, they didn't have Doué, Dembele, and they still won with the academy, which I think they might just play better. The A team. Then they sold. Oh yeah, I forgot I mentioned this. They sold Donnarumma. Lucas Chevalier replaces him, and I don't know why they made that decision, bro. We all know Donnarumma's at Manchester City fighting trophies. Lucas Chevalier, I don't know. Face some pressure, bro. But yeah, Hakeem was man of the match. Nuno Mendes had a great performance. Mayula, and then they decided to bring up Ramos. And I thought, and I know Barcelona. I know you yourself, Cooler. You could say this is not the Barcelona from last season as well, as they also drop off due to the impressive less Inigo Martinez, right? And I know a lot of Barca fans don't want to talk about this, even though Barcelona tend to like try and make, but there's like some issues with Barcelona as well this season, which we will do it. Yes, and I hope we do it. Big up PMF5. We're talking about PSG's downfall, even though they did somehow beat you guys in October. I'm not confident for the Newcastle game because we're playing away. The first leg is at Newcastle. And by the way, we will be doing a preview tomorrow as early as 5 p.m. my time because it's because of I got things to do on Monday. Okay, maybe it's possible. Probably not. I was thinking about doing a stream early, but it's probably not. Oh yeah, probably not. I mean, yes, I will still do it. I just have to do it later. So yeah, and then somehow PSG they beat big Barcelona, and of course PSG had the better chances despite playing the B team. That was shocking. I was like, maybe PSG are back. Maybe we all thought PSG would be back, right? Yeah, nobody except for PSGN because they're playing Chelsea next. And I don't know how you guys lost that game. And then PSG would slowly like come back. They dominate the second half. And then after that Barcelona game, they did took the foot out of their gas against Lille with a 1-1 draw. Nuno Mendes did score a free kick banger. And then they let Kylian Mbappe's brother Ethan Mbappe score against them, bro. And Mbappe was there after the game against Villarreal, 3-1 for Real Madrid. And yeah, they didn't play that well against Lille. And I thought they would. I thought the European champions would go on a Suf like run. And then I know there's like you could say tactical issues, like whether it's like the finishing striker, false nine, or like key players like Vitinha, like performing far below than usual standards, high stake matches in recent in this season especially. And like their defense, bro, started to leak so many goals. Against Strasbourg, they should have lost. They tried to come back, but it was too late to get the win. They somehow battered Leverkusen 7-2, and I thought PSG were still doing well in the UCL. For funny enough, in their own league, they fell off. Yeah, I mean technically, well, they already won 3 trophies. They won the well. I know it's mostly has to do with back of the season, I know they won the Intercontinental Cup because they already qualified because they won the Champions League Super Cup bec- because of the Champions League and Intercont no the French Super Cup. Well, it's because they won the league. They're out of the French Cup. So I mean they can't go trophyless because they already won trophies. But from that standpoint, like from this season, I don't know how do you call it without being those other competition without qualifying from last season. They could lose to Lons in the league. It could happen. And I thought PSG would be back. I thought PSG were back. Maybe it's just some fluke games, and then they got an embarrassing result against Lens, who are one of the worst team in France. They beat Nice with a last minute goal. They lost to Bayern at home, who Bayern were absolutely dominating them. And then since then, PSG they got like a goal back. Bayern Luis Diaz, my Colombian, got sent off. My after scoring two great goals, he gets himself sent off. So what a first half from him, bro. And PSG Bayern were just cutting through, and PSG couldn't maintain it. And then Lyon, and then against Lyon, they scraped with another last minute winner, even though this was one of the big games in France. Neves got them the winner. And then there was like a thriller 2-1 and all that. And then like yeah, PSG barely scraped wins here. They played Spurs again. They barely beat them by 2 goals. It was a thriller, bro. Vitinha had a hat trick, of course, in this game. Let's not forget Reeves because Hernandez gets sent off. The end almost. Yeah, at the end. But Spurs are crap themselves, and yet they concede 3. It's not. It's not sustainable. And they lose to Monaco, and then they battered runs, and then they started being consistent. Their home form kind of continues good. Bilbao 0-0. Mets, they beat them by a goal barely, even though they did play with their B team, because they rotate for this match, of course, which we all know the Intercontinental Cup, the Old Club World Cup, of course, which we all know FIFA loves to do. He made a mistake. Wait, what happened? Who made the mistake? Which we all know the Intercontinental Cup final between PSG and Flamengo was absolutely, which we did a watch along, of course, which, of course, this was the match of basically Brazilian football so far in my life, kind of. PSG had 9 shots on target versus Flamengo's 2. And yeah, Nuno Mendes man the match. And even that, Flamengo, of course, like I said, they're playing Fluminense in a bit. This was the Intercontinental Cup. PSG played really well, I would say. I would say Rossi had a basically masterclass besides that one mistake. Hey, and Felipe Luis, Flamengo, they frustrated Luis Enrique's side. But like the problem is, this is not the PSG from last season. This is PSG from last season that were humbled, that were winning games convincingly, as to be like the best team in the world for a bit, for a few months. Currently, basically, I mean last year, basically, they probably win this game 3-1. Honestly, then, because back then they wouldn't be that as clinical or humbled. Oh, big up to you. Good to have you in the chat. Salute to you, bro. I hope you're doing good. Smash up the likes, bro. We will be here for like the next 10-15 minutes before I do have to go. 15 minutes. So yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on PSG's downfall, kind of, from last season? They're not playing as well. Kvaratskhelia gets an open play goal. And then, of course, Jorginho would equalize, getting a penalty. Of course, this is the match that I wanted, bro, ever since the Old Club World Cup. And then PSG wins on penalty kicks. Basically, here's the thing. Those 3 trophies they won this season, They were from last season's work, basically. And here's the thing: they didn't win a single one in 90 minutes against Spurs. 2-2 Flamengo, like I said. Even though this could have been an upset, of course. And I wanted Mango to win it. Against Marseille as well. 2-2. They had to win on penalties, 3 straights, in which they did somehow. But against Marseille, they didn't score from open play. Flamengo did not score from open play. And yet you still let them somehow get an error goal. And you needed Ramos to equalize. You guys were like playing for a 1-0. PSG are not playing that well, bro, honestly. Marseille had some chances as well. PSG had the big chances, but yeah. And Marseille could have won this game. And Marseille didn't even score from open play, and yet they're still allowing these own goal mistakes and penalty mistakes to not win in 90 minutes. Like, I'm not convinced from PSG, honestly. This is not the PSG from last season. And I know PSG did batter Marseille later that season, of course, but PSG, and then they would straight to not lose games. And then I started realizing that they're not playing that well then. But that win against Barcelona convinced me that they would be back. That doesn't mean, even though Barcelona were probably going through a horrible week that week, the first week of October. And then against Athletic Bilbao, they tied 0-0, which I think that was a joke in my opinion, because Bilbao are just not that great this season. They're sitting like, what's in La Liga? They only had 5 shots on target to 1. I thought there was a report 8 versus 0, but that's not true. They were pretty mid. PSG were so mid that game. They can't, and then that's where the fall off. In Flamengo, you could say it could just be lucky, but PSG, they maybe just not good enough. So maybe Flamengo got penalties, and even though for some reason PSG have been getting bailed out on pens, thought very lucky to not get punished in like 90 minutes fully. And even though some of these goals were not from open play, they were still individual mistakes, bro. They win 4-0, and then they beat Paris FC, and then they played them again, and they lose in the French Cup, bro. They got eliminated in round 32, bro. This is not sustainable. This was just horrible, bro. PSG have been good on penalty shootouts, bro, for some reason. Ever since at Liverpool, they've been doing it, but they're not winning games in like 90 minutes anymore. Or if PSG Paris FC goes to penalties, do I think they win? Probably. And then here's the thing. Look at this. After that game against Flamengo, they did beat Lille. They lost to Sporting Lisbon. Beat Angers just 1-0. So unconvincing. Newcastle, a 1-1 draw. Strasbourg, a 2-1 win. And then they started flopping again. Marseille with Monaco with the red card help. Metz as expected. Monaco, and then barely, and now they're gonna have to play Chelsea. I'm not gonna lie, this PSG team, this PSG team is not that great. What has happened to you? We don't know this is gonna be the full starting 11. So starting 11, yeah, Modric's still suspended. Esteval won't be back for the first leg then. But João Pedro, who's on form, bro, you might just be cooking, bro. João Pedro might just be ready again. So the first leg, I think Chelsea might be the favorites. Look at this. People are voting for Chelsea for the first time. Based on form, even though Chelsea are very inconsistent, they barely beat Brexton. Even though they need to go to extra time. And then against Liverpool. Against Liverpool, for example. Or not Liverpool, I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was. But yeah, now the odds are against PSG because of the performance, bro. You guys have been terrible, and I thought you guys would absolutely cook, bro. And I get it. Well, like, what else is the excuse, bro? I get you've been playing like a lot of games. Blame that on FIFA, and we're gonna have to make a dark truth stream about FIFA soon at this point. Because even though that's the only thing I could defend about PSG, I get it. FIFA wants to put more games, even though you could just crash the other Club World Cup early. Even though FIFA's adding a bit too much games, I'm not gonna lie. You could have done a record, but I guess a lot of people need rest, bro. They signed and Joe Fernandez. I get it. Fabian was injured, couldn't even do anything good for impressive. I wouldn't say him. I would say everyone has been awful. Vitinha, Hacho, bro, Sabarni. What is wrong? Nuno Mendes. Like, what is wrong, bro? Chelsea, bro, they're inconsistent. But at least they got fluidity and they do run. They have the quality. And I feel like Chelsea will win this game probably 2-1 then. Just do a display to not lose. I don't know if I do. I know some people think PSG will play a lot better than they should. But the way that they've been performing, look at their form. At least Chelsea, Villa, I mean, they lost to Arsenal, drew Burnley. Seeing PSG been playing a bit more. Even though they PSG has postponed one of the games just to catch up with Chelsea in 6 days, but I doubt that happens. But yeah, PSG, they're not playing well in my opinion. Zabarni was so ass, bro. Like, apparently, everyone is just off. I would say, like, Jesus Christ. And no matter what's in the system, bro, everyone just plays bad. This is not good, bro. PSG are not playing well. Look at the stats, bro. Their defense, bro. They've been leaking so many goals, bro. PSG, bro. Big up Tossin. Real Madrid Man City prediction. I will be doing a preview. Honestly, I could see a draw. I know you just beat Newcastle, so that should motivate you guys. I think I got a draw in my opinion. I think I'll go for 2-2 draw. Let's see if Real Madrid does get used to be playing away from home. Let's see. But yeah, but PSG, bro, I don't think you're the favorites against Chelsea. Or, I mean, this could be 50-50 with the form, but let's see. I'll be surprised a bit if PSG does turn up against Chelsea. And if somehow PSG gets revenge and wins like 3-0 in the first leg, the tie is like almost over then. But they're going to have a lot to prove, bro. The first leg is at home, the second leg is at Stamford Bridge, even though Chelsea haven't been playing that well at home recently again. So we don't even know about this. But yeah, what else is the issue? Like, PSG, bro, I know looks like he's not joining today. If not, I have to bring him today. It might just be tactically. Some people are arguing that this could be Enrique's like predictable lineup, so it remains of a 4-3-3 formation. Of course, the I may not understand tactics fully yet. Some low block struggles apparently. Despite having on average like let's say 70% of the ball, PSG is finding it harder to have to break down low blocks compared to last season. And since PSG don't have a number 9, Mbappe, of course, well, technically, he's not even a number 9. They decided to use Barcola. Rumors that they're going to try to use Due as a striker. So PSG don't even use Gonzalo Ramos as striker. Dembele, well, but like they don't have a proper number 9. And PSG, I failed to address. They could have gotten Victor Osimhen. They could have gotten Victor Jajokovic or groceries. They could have, because even Arsenal has a little bit of a proper number 9. Even though Victor Jajokovic isn't succeeding expectation right away, but at least doing somewhat. But yeah, since Mbappe's department, the lack of a world class goal scorers, even though that wasn't the problem last season as much. I mean, yes, they had. Oh, I thought they scored. Enter. Thought they call it for offside. Oh, here comes AC Milan. But yeah, their defense, bro. What has happened to PSG's back line, bro? How many open play goals have they conceded? 3 on Friday. They conceded an air. When was their last clean sheet against Mets? Because Mets are the worst. Lavar, very lucky. Lahard at them to equalize. They can see the 5 against Monaco, 7 against Monaco. So the last open play goals, 7. The last 5 were from the last 5 games. 7 goals were from against Monaco. They conceded 3 against Rennes, so that's 10. 1 against Strasbourg. 12. Yeah, PSG's backline absolutely is trash, bro. And then some silly mistakes, giving away penalties on goals, not just open play goals. The flick goals that are not even from open play is even worse. Because you're saying that in open play, PSG would have just won 2-0 against Marseille. That's a joke, or maybe just 1-0 because they probably. It's just not good enough, bro. PSG are just awful. What made them so bad, bro? What made them so good last season? Dembele had the best career, of course. Barcola, the top year. And then, like, tactical masterclass, bro. Mbappe left. Luis Enriquez rebuilt the team around for collect effort, youth rather than injured stars, and everyone thought. And since then, but not now. And now those kids, they're not playing that well. I don't know, man. These guys could actually be in the mud. So yeah. So before we redirect to that guy, so annoying to have that Milan derby at the same time. I don't know, bro. These guys are not tend to be serious. First 26 seconds, bro. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, what are your thoughts on PSG's? Yeah, that's catching up. My thoughts on Real Madrid being Celta Vigo? Didn't play that well, but you guys got the job done at the last second. My phone battery ran out to like the last 20 minutes of the game, and then you guys scraped a win. Thought it was an mid performance either way. Got a last minute goal. See this built-in confidence. We will be doing a preview tomorrow for sure of all the UCL games, and then we'll also do a UCL first leg reaction this Wednesday and as well Thursday maybe. Because I don't even know who's gonna win the UCL. The best team in the world, you could argue it's Bayern. Definitely not Real Madrid, Barcelona. The best team in the world. If I had to go one, it either has to be Bayern. I don't even know. A lot of big teams have been mid so far. Barcelona, you could say maybe a little bit. I don't know. Chelsea are inconsistent. PSG, of course, the mess they're having. Barcelona, still some issues. Real Madrid, a lot of issues, kind of. Yeah, I would say maybe Bayern. They did barely scrape against Dortmund to win, and they did beat Mönchengladbach. So yeah, maybe I would say Bayern as the best team in the world. What about you guys? Yeah, Barca. Yeah, on aggregate, Bayern. They did. They did. Yeah. So I don't know who's the best team in the world then. Arsenal. Do we have to really credit them, bro? Could be, bro. Chelsea. Nah. So basically, whoever wins the UCL then. I mean, but if I had to go, the favorites, Bayern then. They got to visit Stamford Bridge, and then they got to visit Nice away. It's gonna be real hard for PSG, bro. And then let's see if they beat Liverpool. So we'll see. They're gonna have to win because they're not the favorites, bro. The second leg, everyone's voting Chelsea. Yeah, Mudryk is suspended, bro. We don't even know what has happened to him. And yeah, there you go. But yeah, I'm surprised. It looks like he didn't join today. That's the unfortunate. Let's see. I want to rule you guys out against Man City. My bad. Thought it was. Then Mudryk. Yeah, he did. Thing. And like, I'm not surprised. He has this guy. I mean, even though PSG has the Ukrainian player. And listen, even Stefanon, bro. I forgot to mention him. The goalkeeping position. And now the Stefanon comes on. And after that masterclass against Flamengo, and Lucas Chevalier did against Marseille, he started off, I think, every game since that. When did he start dropping Lucas Chevalier? When did he start? It looks like in January they heard, so they chose him. They chose him over Lucas Chevalier. Lucas Chevalier has been awful, bro. Especially those two ever goals against Spurs, bro. That's just a joke, bro. And against Monaco, you barely scraped, but he could see the 3 goals. He was not that good. I mean, would you blame the goals on Stefanon? Probably not all. Well, it did gave up 3. He did make 3 good saves. Well, Pacho Zabarni doesn't want to play with him. It's just a joke, bro. It's laughable, bro. That's a joke, bro. 30 minutes still 0-0 AC Milan and Inter Milan. But yeah, PSG, they are so garbage, bro. They cannot be stand for. Seriously, if they don't fix up, bro, might have some serious conversation. We'll do that tomorrow, and as well maybe Tuesday, even during Club America Philadelphia Union. Yep. Oh, you kind of. I kind of. Oh yeah, that's true. Forgot Inter Milan. Like that shit don't freeze, bro. So far 0-0, even though this wasn't supposed to be a watch along, this is supposed to be a PSG. What's going on, like stream? Well, where's Ozola? Is he not gonna join then? I'll have to wait till tomorrow then. It's not looking good. Bless me. Here comes Inter on the counter. This could be a goal. That has to go in. Macaron saved. Mayan actually made a save. Oh, Inter. Are they going to score? And it's offside. But yeah, big up, Blue. Give the stream a like. Am I surprised? No. Yeah, Barco. It's just everything, bro. You thought PSG fans, they're going to have to live throughout the Chelsea drama, but this time they're going to have to visit Stamford Bridge. How scary, spooky, even though they... And yes, it's Liam Rossigna this time in charge, not Enzo Maresca. But the problem is, Rossigna, you also held 3 open play goals at home against Rossigna's Strasbourg, so I don't know if he should be because he's got a better squad. Bigger and better players. What is Inter doing? Go! They're not stupid not score. What are they doing? Monaco v PSG, it's the same. Yep, exactly. That's true. That's ground in Seattle. You guys are doing okay, right? But besides that, Milan scores. Inter don't know how to defend, bro. They let a Stupido score. Even though Dembele, like I said, won UCL Ballon d'Or, which sadly Mbappe couldn't do. With who as well? And Milan scored. They let a Stupido score. What are you doing? They let him score an open play goal. You guys are jokers. And Inter Milan, they've been better, but you guys haven't been fully better either. And Mbappe is a clown. Oh, yesterday? Oh, nice. I didn't check the full results. Maybe I might have heard. Nice. Before going to the Champions. Right? Wait, are you in the Champions Cup or no? Who are you going to play against? Because I forgot. Are you in the Champions Cup, right? Who are you playing against? I forgot this big weekend. But yeah, Inter Milan score. What a joke. You can't celebrate. Not even the Spanish account could say anything. Luis Enriquez is a joke, bro. But remember, 7 points clear. But the problem is it takes a bit more. You let freaking knocked up, bro. What a joke. And Inter Milan has more of the ball and they're still freaking losing. So we don't even know what's going to happen. Oh, yeah, let me repost the lineups. You want to see Flamengo's lineup? Let me do Fluminense's lineup. Crusado's lineup, my bad. So yeah, this is Crusado's lineup. Say, alright, before I end the stream, this is El Tigre's lineup. For God's sakes, El freaking Tigre. Let me check the Whitecaps we play. When do you guys play the Whitecaps? No, that's a derby. All right, come on. But yeah, this is Flamengo's lineup. This is Fluminense's lineup. So yeah, they're going full A's team. Leandro's to full start 11. Rossi, Valera, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, Alexandro, Eric, Jorginho, Ascayeta, Carrascal, Samuelino, Pedro, Revison, Luis. The bench, Araujo, Vitinho, De La Cruz. This is Flamengo's lineup. Let's check Crusados and Fluminense. And then we'll leave. And then we'll just leave it on the control. Fluminense's lineup, Fabio, of course, in goals. Zed, Martinelli, Hercules, Costa, or Luisa Torsa, Cañoño, El Pelo Largo starting, El Tigre starting, John Kennedy, and Kevin, and Rodrigo. Is he on the bench? Let me see. Oh, shit! He's not even on the bench! He's not even on the bench. So they won't have to deal with him today. Rodrigo's not here today. He's not here for the rematch. So Leandro doesn't have to worry about him. Oh, there's Sabrino. I forgot. He's not here today. No Rodrigo. He's not in the starting 11. So yeah, this is Fluminense's lineup, and let's check Crusados and Atletico, and let's get out of here because I gotta go, guys. Hey, Tile Pastilla. Here's the Foxes lineup. All right, guys. The good news is we will broadcast the Flamengo game. All right, so join Flamengo's live stream right now. Right now, join me. So yeah, here's Flamengo stream. Once I end the stream, it'll take you guys there. Say. I know. All right, so enjoy, guys.